This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends. What's going on? It is a Tuesday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew. We are broadcasting from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. I invite everybody to come on down to 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes south of downtown San Diego. Blackjack, poker, table games on one side of the casino, Sammy's Restaurant and Bar on the other. A completely smoke-free environment. And if you're going to play cards, table games, come on down to 7 Mile Casino, because that's the group that we work with. That's the group that supports this show, and we always ask you to support our sponsors. So, guys, Browner, Grande, for those that are just joining us, there's a lot we want to get to today. Off the top of my head, I can tell you guys right now, I want to talk about the Padres acquisition. I want to talk about LeBron James going off. I want to talk about what is happening around the NFL and this Deshaun Watson story I definitely want to get into. I also want to get into the AFC West because, Alex, I heard you talking a little bit yesterday about the acquisition of talent. And when you look at the offensive side of the ball in the AFC West, and look, we're in March, okay? Which, by the way, would bring me to wanting to talk about the NCAA basketball tournament as well. All these sports headlines are on my mind, but I was saying, as far as the AFC West, the different quarterback, receiver, tight end combos and who's got the best offensive skill, we'll get into all that. But for those of you that are just joining us today, whether it's on radio, on ESPN 1090, whether you're part of the streaming going on right now on YouTube, or even tonight, if you're catching up to us on television on Channel 4 San Diego and part of the Cox Yorview Network, we started on today's show talking about John Clayton, who was a part of this show for many years every Tuesday. So today is Tuesday when John would normally be coming on the air. And I got to just say that I'm impacted, man. I'm not trying to put on some act for you or anything. I'm just telling you that, to talk to this guy every single week on the air, to have a relationship with him like I did off the air, to have worked with him many, many football games where he's on the sidelines, I'm on the sidelines, we're working together, we're communicating throughout, we're working as a team, he and I, to have this like Pittsburgher kind of relationship that he and I shared together. When the news of John Clayton came out last week, I was impacted. And what I was saying earlier, for those of you that are just joining us, what really, really got me was this. John's last appearance on the show. Alex, do you have the date? It could have been just 2 weeks ago from today. So today's March 22nd.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago, actually.
So call it March 8th, or it might have been March 1st. The point is this. John's on the show that day, and he's laying on his couch with his phone, and he's communicating with us through his phone this way. And when he got off the air, by the way, talking hardcore football, I don't remember exactly what the story was. I don't know if we talked about Russell Wilson that day. I don't remember exactly what the story was. But that day, he got off the air, and when the three of us were having this conversation, like, dude, he doesn't look good. He doesn't sound good. Does he even know we're on video? In fact, if you recall, I said I'll text him and say, hey, John, did you know this? We're on video. Did you know we're doing multiple, different formats and platforms? And we were kind of laughing a little bit, like, John doesn't care what he looks like. But I think what happened was, again, think about this. He died on Friday at 67 years old. That was 2 weeks ago. Something was wrong with him that he wasn't sharing with us. And the reason he wasn't sharing it is because all he cared about was, I love football. I want to talk football. You guys have been putting me on the radio in Southern California for all these years because all we do is talk football and argue football. And that's what I want to do. I don't want to tell you how sick I am or how much pain I might be in or what's going on in my real life, even though he was happy to talk about his wife and taking care of her. That day, that last day, this is what's been bothering me, is something was very obviously wrong with John, but he wasn't telling us. And I hate when something like this happens and we don't know what happened. Like, he died at 67 after what they're calling a brief illness, and we don't know what that was. And I feel like we asked him to be part of something at a time where physically, he probably wasn't up for it, but that's who John Clayton was. He never said no to an appearance. He was as committed to his wife as any man I know on this planet, seriously. Like that guy, when it came to taking care of his wife, that's what he was all about. And then football. I mean, he loved talking football, studying football, writing about football. And if you asked him to come on, that guy couldn't say no. Even as sick as he must have been, he couldn't say no. So, I mean, just salute to John Clayton. Again, I said this earlier, and for those of you that are just joining us now, I felt like for everybody that sent me messages of condolences, hey man, so sorry for your loss. I'm like, it's not my loss, it's all of our loss. And the thing is that people who listen and watch this show, they told me I felt like I had a close-knit relationship with this person because I heard him with you guys every single week. And you talked football, and you talked life, and you talked money, and you talked jobs, and you talked wives. And Browner, there was a time when people thought that you arguing with him was disrespectful, when in actuality, you played the Sean Salisbury role on our show. Because back in the day, when John Clayton and Sean Salisbury were on ESPN together, going at it, calling each other names, laughing at each other, like Salisbury would call him a pencil neck geek, and Clayton would call him like a meathead jock or whatever, and people loved it. And Brown, are you and him arguing back and forth? Or John coming on and just immediately teasing you, the Bears, how bad their quarterback situation is, how bad their offensive line is, how bad their coach is, how long it's been since they've had a quarterback. He loved teasing you, man. And it's just sad, dude. It's really sad. As a matter of fact, one of the guys in our YouTube chat, Neil, who you mentioned earlier, Alex, he sent me a message yesterday and said, why don't you put Sean Salisbury on today, Tuesday, where John Clayton would normally be? And I thought, you know what, Neil, that's a really great idea. And I talked to Sean Salisbury. And of course, he's being inundated with the entire world who wants to talk about John Clayton because so many of us enjoyed him and had relationships with him. And I said, you know what, not today. Today we'll talk about it, but later in the week we'll bring Sean on and we'll get his feelings about it. So, Alex, what do you make of all this, buddy?
I mean, yeah, I think we talked about it yesterday for like 16 minutes or something. So it's just the whole thing is brutal. And I don't know if you know this, Scott. I don't think you listened to this part of the show yesterday. The part that really kind of messed me up personally the most is every Tuesday I would text him early in the morning. And every Tuesday he would text me back pretty much right away. Either yes, I can come on, or I got something going on with Pat. Can we move it to tomorrow? I went on our text thread last week because I did text him on Tuesday, and I realized like he never texted me back at all, like zero. And I went back and I scrolled through years of messages, and literally every time I text him, every single time he texts me back, at least saying no, I can't do it today, or can we push it to a different day? And now looking back last week, that really did a toll on me because I was like, that wow, he really physically couldn't even text that I'm not available. Yeah, it's pretty rough.
I'm looking at my text messages. I said, hey, John, hey, John, just checking on you guys. I know you had to take Pat to the hospital. I hope all is well. He writes back. This is March 1st. He writes back. He says, she had her breast exam and came out fine. Thanks for checking. I said, of course. And I blah, blah, blah. And we're just chatting. And I said, hey, how are things going for you? And he said, going okay. And I said, okay, great, blah, blah, blah. And then on Monday, March 7th, he texted me. Listen to this. Monday, March 7th, he texts me. He says, hey, I can't be on the air tomorrow. You know why? Because I have to take Pat to the hospital. Monday, March 7th, I have to take Pat to the hospital. Today is Tuesday, March 22nd. This is 3 weeks ago. Can't come on tomorrow. He's telling us the day before, can't do tomorrow's show. I say, oh no, is she okay? He writes back, catheter issue. I write back, you're the most amazing husband. That's the last text between us. is he's taking his wife to the hospital because she's having a problem with her catheter, and he's taking her. Little do we know that less than 3 weeks later, at 67 years old, he would be dead. Gosh. Oh, man, dude. Yeah, it's tough, man. It is really, really tough. 67 years old. John Clayton, great part of this show for so many years. I always felt like when ESPN fired him, they didn't fire him because he wasn't good at his job. They fired him because they were, laying people off at the time. They were laying off thousands of people. They were saving lots of money. John never was bitter towards them. He always appreciated what they gave to him. He appreciated that they paid out his contract. They didn't pay him off in one lump sum. They said, no, you don't have to work. We're getting rid of you. We're writing you off our books, but we will pay you every single week for the next however long it was. He had no bitterness towards them. And what he didn't realize at the time was, while it felt like the worst thing that ever happened in his life, because he'd been on television with ESPN for over 20 years, he felt like that was the worst day of his life. But the reality was, being fired by ESPN turned into a great thing for him, because he was able to write for the Washington Post. He was able to write for a radio station's website in Denver about the Broncos. He was working for ESPN's affiliate in Seattle. And what it did was it freed him up to take care of his wife, because he didn't have to travel anymore all the damn time. So anyway, it's just, and again, I'll just say this to all of our listeners and all of our viewers, whether you're watching on TV or on YouTube or you're listening on radio or podcast, what you guys have said to me is you felt intimate with John. You felt close to John because of the relationship that me, Alex, and Browner had with John Clayton. And so I just felt like I really needed to kind of talk this out with everybody today, because I know that a lot of people were out there really hurting with this kind of news. So sending love to his wife, sending love to all of his close personal friends and family, and just sad. And I hate to say it, but I'm just so, I'm like, my mind is on what the hell happened. What did we not know 2 weeks ago when he was on the show and he looked terrible and he didn't sound so great and his eyes were closed during the appearance? Like, what was he going through? But yet, as much as he was hurting in some way, talking football, that was his thing. Anyway, so, all right. I feel like I needed to get this off my chest. I know you guys talked about it yesterday.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, you're good, brother.
Hey, to that end, let's have a conversation for a minute here about some football stuff in honor of John Clayton today. Let's do that.
John Clayton Tuesdays.
Yeah, we should name that. We should call this John Clayton Tuesdays on the air. We should. Speaking of football, and it's really probably one of the stories that's most on my mind, even though the NCAA tournament, the way LeBron James has been playing, what happened last night in his hometown of Cleveland, and just so many other sports stories that I want to get to. The Padres, spring training, this acquisition of a DH first baseman. What does that mean? All these other stories on my mind. But guys, I didn't get to hear this part of the show yesterday. Can you believe what the Cleveland Browns have done here with Deshaun Watson? Think about this. Let's start it off with this. You ready? Think about what the Cleveland Browns feel about Baker Mayfield, who was the first overall pick of the draft. Now, different coaching staff, but the organization drafted Baker Mayfield number 1. And before his rookie contract is even over, they've given up on Baker Mayfield. They've given up on Baker Mayfield so much that they're willing to take on a guy who has a ton of off-the-field problems, a lot of question marks about his future, an anticipated suspension, and over $200+ million of guaranteed money, something you never hear about in the NFL. Not that amount of guaranteed money, because usually you see a contract, they go, hey, this contract's worth $200 million, $50 million of it is guaranteed. This whole thing is guaranteed. They don't know for sure if he's going to be suspended, although they anticipate 4 to 6 weeks this season. They don't know what the civil cases are going to eventually show. These guys decided Baker Mayfield is such a jerk and he's not good enough to get the job done that we're going to take the risk on a guy like Deshaun Watson.
He's not adult enough. That was where the reports. They want an adult at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So who's a better adult than Deshaun Watson?
Or hear me out.
That's just the reports, Browner. I mean, don't yell, don't kill the messenger, dude.
Hear me out.
I don't know if you saw this guy, this man over here.
They
I
wanted
heard
a
he
better
went crazy
football
yesterday.
player.
What happened?
No, don't come in. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. I didn't go crazy. I was educating folks.
What
okay?
is the education? Tell me what I need.
I was
what I need to
educating
know.
folks,
Mm-hmm.
not guilty. Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all hear that?
Yeah,
Not,
right.
No charges.
No criminal charges.
No criminal charges.
Right.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
So the man not guilty. He's free to do his business. NFL's free to negotiate. The teams that were looking for him were able to go after him, and the Cleveland Browns put their money where their mouth is, because they trying to get wins. They're trying to win games. And if anybody if you listen to this and you think the Cleveland Browns did the wrong thing, then you bad at business.
Well, let me ask you a question. But let me just ask you this: if Deshaun Watson doesn't have any criminal charges against him, and there's still a civil case, should a guy like Trevor Bauer also in a very similar circumstance, should he be allowed to get back into Major League Baseball?
Great question. I'm glad you asked that. There's zero visual evidence that Deshaun Watson did anything of that level to these women.
Well,
None.
He didn't beat them up. The reports were that he touched them inappropriately and he rubbed himself inappropriately on them. Whether or not that's true or false, I still have a lot of questions, to be honest.
Right. Exactly.
But with Trevor Bauer, no criminal charges also. Now, on the other hand, he obviously beat this woman up.
Right.
But according to whatever level of justice was being, that's probably the wrong phraseology.
But in the same terms that Browner's talking about, Trevor Bauer was in a consensual relationship. He did absolutely nothing wrong. In the same terms that Browner's talking about.
Not guilty. Now, the images that were produced were distasteful, 100%. But it is my belief, and this is why I feel this way, okay? This is just my only belief. Those women were prostitutes. They were paid for their services. The Texans knew about Deshaun Watson's like for this form of interaction when he didn't want to play for them, because they're a terrible organization. I'll just say that. They're a terrible organization. They're vindictive. And they wanted him to pay because he didn't want to play for them anymore. So they set this up for him to look like this monster. They gathered all these women, and they all tried to make it look like he was forcing himself on every single woman he came across. And that just proved not to be, up until this point, that proved not to be true. So if these,
well, I would say
if these allegations make an individual guilty, then why do we have the criminal justice system? Why? If people are just alleging things on you, they can't prove any of it. What are we doing?
Well, they can't prove any of it yet because the civil cases are still about. Well, they say the civil cases are going to happen. What were you going to say, Alex?
Right.
I'm curious.
Yeah, you said it. Browner said we can discuss it and debate all the facts, non-facts, what we think, what we don't think. Here's the thing. The Browns are in the business of winning football games.
That's it.
And that's all they care about. The NFL, time and time again, prove that they are not the moral police. Whether you think what Deshaun Watson did was disgusting or he did nothing wrong, don't matter what you think. The NFL has continued to show you that no matter who is in charge at what team, they are likely to do whatever it takes. If they think it makes them better, they will do it.
Well,
this is the same organization that has Kareem Hunt on their team, who there is visual evidence that he kicked the woman. Like, it's not so I understand that, like, there's a ton of social media backlash and there's a ton of talking heads that are like disgusted by the Browns and what they did and blah, 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 rewarding him with a $230 million contract, etc., etc. At the end of the day, the NFL, all they give a crap about, I almost said S, is winning games.
Yeah. Well,
all these people who are talking about Deshaun Watson in a negative context, they're either the same people on television and on a panel with Ray Lewis. These are the same people on television on a panel with Michael Vick, and they're okay. Oh, they're okay with that. But
Ray Lewis wasn't convicted.
Right. And not being convicted put him back into the league, and he went on to have a more great years and completely changed his reputation from what people thought he was when they assumed he was part of, two people dying.
Ray Lewis.
60 seconds, Browner.
Again, this is my belief.
Mm-hmm.
There is factual proof that Ray Lewis paid the family off during the trial to not testify at certain points so the charges could be lessered so that he could get into the situation and he was able to.
But the legal system said
right.
Yes.
And the NFL said come back to play. Look, it's
and
just,
everybody's okay with that.
But from a football perspective, this is the way I'm trying to figure it out. The Browns felt that Baker Mayfield, the number 1 overall pick in the draft by them, it's time to give up on the guy. They didn't give up on him for Aaron Rodgers. They didn't give up on him for Matt Ryan. They gave up on him for a guy that there's still so many questions about. That's what they thought about Baker Mayfield. Hey, look, we've been talking about John Clayton, so it got us jumped into the NFL like right away. We'll continue the conversation. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. This is Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
The Rich Eisen Show airs Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. An engaging blend of insightful football expertise with an offbeat mix of humor and pop culture while continuing to attract the most recognizable names in sports and entertainment. Only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
Rugby. It's America's fastest growing sport and the predecessor of American football, combining football's physicality, the free-flowing grace of soccer, the ball-handling skills of basketball, and the intensity of ice hockey. No pads, no helmets, all action. Rugby Wrap-Up and Major League Rugby every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on Your View.
Victor Howell here, host for the NCAA Tournament Special Dance to the Dome. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local teams all the way to the Final Four at the Dome. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and more as we dance to the Dome on Your View.
Brought to you by Kearney Mesa Chevrolet. We're San Diego proud. Minutes from anywhere on Balboa Avenue.
Main streets are the heart of our communities, where we connect with our neighbors, support local businesses, and share new adventures. Main Street Living celebrates all of this, bringing you uplifting stories with guests from across the country and your community. Main Street Living covers what's important to you today, from our street to your street. Join Cheryl, Danielle, and Quincy for Main Street Living. Mondays at 9 on Your View.
So I became a dentist because I just love science and I love art. I have a music background, so I wanted to do something that I can use the hand dexterity that I've developed, through my musical training. We've had a practice in San Diego for 25 years. It's called the Super Dentist. For over 2 decades, I've had parents ask me the same questions on a daily basis. And so I decided to put all of this information in one place. I wrote a book. Title of it is If Your Mouth Could Talk. Because if your mouth could talk, it would tell you about the condition of your entire life. Right now, the oral care marketplace is a mess. And so we decided to launch a new company called Supermouth, which is a subscription model of oral care. And so we want to be proactively educating parents, providing the tools and the oral care products to make sure they can raise healthier, happier, more successful kids. The education piece is a key piece in our company, because if you're educated as a parent, you're going to do the right things. People can find my book, If Your Mouth Could Talk, themouthbook.com, and purchase the book there, and also get some special gifts to go along with the book.
You always want to live in the best home possible. And that's what really at the heart of what our business is all about. And for over 20 years now, we've been focused on helping people get to the right property. At Move Up San Diego, we have created systems that are duplicatable, because that creates the same results. Whether it's a trade-in option that we're doing a lot of right now, which allows people to be a cash buyer before they actually sell their home, or our moving concierge program, which actually helps you not just with the buying and selling of a property, but we help with the entire move. The best way to get a hold of Move Up San Diego is to either visit our website, moveupsandiego.com, or you can download our app called Move Up Homes, or you can call me direct on my cell phone at 858-204-7259.
We are very proud to announce that the Mightier 1090 is SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate. Introducing the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. One of the largest radio stations in North America just got bigger and better. Joining forces with the worldwide leader of sports, ESPN. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Rugby. It's America's fastest growing sport and the predecessor of American football, combining football's physicality, the free-flowing grace of soccer, the ball-handling skills of basketball, and the intensity of ice hockey. No pads, no helmets, all action. Rugby Wrap-Up and Major League Rugby every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on Your View.
The 2022 San Diego Loyal season is here. Live on Your View and YourView.com. Watch the San Diego Loyal take on the Phoenix Rising FC Saturday, March 26th at 7:30 p.m. Support the San Diego Loyal as they make their bid for the 2022 USL Championship. Phoenix Rising FC versus the San Diego Loyal, Saturday at 7:30 on Your View.
Victor Howell here, host for the NCAA Tournament Special Dance to the Dome. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local teams all the way to the Final Four at the Dome. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and more as we dance to the Dome on Your View.
Brought to you by AB Tax Law. Triumph over your serious tax problems with AB Tax Law. Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
The San Diego Loyal got the 2-0 win against Sacramento Republic FC last Saturday. Kai Adams got the scoring started in the 35th minute when he headed in a ball off a volley from Nick Moon. It was Adams' first start with San Diego in a sort of homecoming as Adams played college ball at San Diego State. The second goal of the night for the Loyal came from team captain Charlie Adams, who found the net from 20 yards out. In the second half, the Loyal had some chances, but Sacramento was able to keep them from furthering the damage. Kogi Vegas had a clean sheet on the night. He had a standout save in the 38th minute to help secure the shutout. The Loyal are now 2-0 on the year and have 6 points. It is the first time the club has gotten off to a 2-0 start. Next up, the Loyal will hit the road to take on FC Tulsa on Wednesday. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Your View.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
Replacing missing teeth with the new small diameter or mini implants. With us, we have an expert on the topic, Dr. Joe Gillespie. Dr. Gillespie.
Hey, Randy.
Welcome to the program.
Great to see you again.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the Mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
Hey, great friends. What's going on? Today is Tuesday afternoon. It is March 22nd. This is Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man. We are broadcasting from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com is the web address, just 7 minutes south of downtown San Diego. And I'll just say this to everybody. If you play blackjack or if you play poker, then you should come to 7 Mile Casino. Now, there's a lot of great casino options around San Diego, but 7 Mile is the group and the casino that works directly with us. So if you're a great friend, support our sponsors, 7 Mile Casino, 7milecasino.com. We're calling today John Clayton Tuesday because this is normally the day that John Clayton would be on the air with us. But obviously, we all know the story that on Friday of last week, John Clayton died at 67 years old of what is being described as a brief illness. I wish I could give you more information. I know a lot of you guys who are John Clayton fans and you felt close to John because of his weekly appearances on the show. I know a lot of you guys probably assumed I'd get back on the air today and I'd have information about what happened to John. I don't. And I feel kind of like a little strange contacting his friend, the guy who put out the notice that John had died. I feel kind of weird, like, hey, can you tell me what happened? Probably going to wind up doing that anyway, even though I feel weird about it. So anyway, we said it's John Clayton Tuesday and we started talking about football and we got into this Deshaun Watson story. To me, I'll tell you guys, so you guys know my best pal from college is the offensive coordinator of the Browns. I called him last week. I said, what's going on? He said, this is before the whole deal went down. He said, I scouted Deshaun Watson because I said, man, I thought you guys might get Deshaun Watson. He said, they asked me to scout him. I scouted him. I wrote up this whole report about Deshaun Watson. And what Alex figured out was just really, really studying the guy. He's like, he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Deshaun Watson is a top 5 quarterback when playing, when healthy. He is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. So that's the report he writes for the Cleveland Browns. I'm not saying that that's what made them decide that. I mean, they could probably figure it out for themselves. But they went to Deshaun Watson. They tried to get a deal done. Didn't happen. Baker Mayfield got all butthurt about the whole thing, sent out all of his messages. Hey, Cleveland, thanks. I don't know what's going to happen next. Little does he know, because he now says, I want to be traded. And he actually told everybody, I want to be traded to the Indianapolis Colts. That didn't happen. Baker Mayfield clearly doesn't know Frank Reich, clearly doesn't understand who Frank Reich is as a coach, and that those personalities are not going to meld at all. But then when the Browns do get Deshaun Watson, they've still got Baker Mayfield. Now they're going to trade him for like a bag of footballs because there's no value anymore. Everybody in the league knows that the Browns want to unload him, number one. And number two, nobody thinks he's that great anyway. I guess what's going to eventually happen is they'll probably wind up cutting Baker Mayfield, be my guess. And then Baker Mayfield will be an available free agent. And he can go sign with, I don't know, maybe he signs with Miami and competes with Tua. Maybe he signs Seattle. And he competes.
Miami got Teddy Bridgewater.
I'm giving examples.
There's no market is what you're trying to say.
I'm saying there's no market.
Right. The Falcons got Mariota. The Colts got Matt Ryan. There is no market except Seattle.
And maybe Carolina, but they're already paying Sam Darnold. I think it's like $18 million, and now you're gonna get Baker, who was in the same draft, if I'm not mistaken. Like,
I don't know if they're in the same draft class, but whatever. I'll have to look it up.
Point made.
Yeah, point made is right. I mean,
the Saints got Jameis Winston back. Tom Brady came back from retirement. Yeah, I mean,
like I did this exercise yesterday, and all I could come up with was Carolina and Seattle because but you also have to think about like this: of those teams, would they choose Jimmy Garoppolo? Because he's supposed to be available. He's more consistent. He's hurt more, but he's also won more.
Yeah, I would. If you told me, hey, you have to choose between Jimmy Garoppolo and Baker Mayfield, I'll take Jimmy Garoppolo all day.
Yeah.
Mostly because I feel like with Jimmy Garoppolo, here's what I'm getting: a professional. With Baker Mayfield, I'm getting a kid who still has not yet been humbled in any way. And I feel like Baker Mayfield really hurt himself last year. He'll look back on last season, and here's what he's going to think to himself: I should have gone out when I was hurt. 100% of Case Keenum would have been better than 60% of me. And because I was only at 60%, I'm just making up the numbers, I played so poorly that we didn't succeed and everybody gave up on me. And also, I really think Odell Beckham leaving the Browns and finding success with the Rams really goes to the problems between Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham. And if Beckham was able to be productive in a professional environment like the Rams, but couldn't produce because he and Mayfield had some personal issue where Mayfield wouldn't give him the ball in any way, I think that spoke volumes as well. So think about that. You're the
Even Case Keenum got a job before Baker. Case Keenum got traded to be a
right.
backup
So
with the
and I
Bills.
knew that trade was going down but here's the thing. I mean, who cares if I knew about it? But the point is that now you're the Browns. What do you have? You have a quarterback in Deshaun Watson that you're going to pay a fortune to. And by the way, you're looking at the Rams. If you're the Browns, you have to be looking at the Rams saying, we're not going to pay first round draft choices this year, the next year, the next year. We're just not putting our money into kids who are unproven. We're putting our money into a proven commodity that is Deshaun Watson. The only problem is that the Browns don't know for sure when will Deshaun Watson be able to play. In talking to my friends there, they assume there's a 4 to 6 week suspension coming based on what other guys have been
they know.
for.
Right.
They worked the contract. They worked the contract exactly that way. This was part of the reason why the Browns were counted out, and then they came back and were like, we'll do whatever you want. Just come to the Browns. We'll pay you $1 million this year. So when you get suspended, it'll be a tiny little hit. You'll get $229 million for 4 years, blah, blah, blah. Like, we will kiss your ass, suck your whatever. Like, we will do whatever you need.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. Ew. That's
Whoa,
really
okay.
wow, Alex. That is
what they did.
Alex, that is like really that's out of the Browner playbook right there. That's a little,
dude, because it's exactly what they did. And if you don't feel that way, then you're just
Grande Caliente.
The Browns bent over. What do you want?
Whoa.
They did.
Hey,
they did. But you know what?
And I'm using these terms for Deshaun Watson. He knows exactly what I'm talking
about. Hey, look, here's the thing. If Deshaun Watson, let's just say this year, let's say he gets suspended for 6 games this year, and the Browns don't really go anywhere. But beyond that, Deshaun Watson in that division, we all talk about the AFC West, but think about now all the quarterbacks, not just in the AFC West with Russell Wilson joining Denver. Think about all the other quarterbacks in the AFC. We keep talking about the AFC. Even Matt Ryan, who's now older.
But will be better on a better team.
Right, and hasn't been as successful most recently with Atlanta. Even Matt Ryan leaves Atlanta and comes over to Indianapolis, where it just seems like all of the best quarterbacks are not just in the AFC West because they got Russell Wilson. They're all in the AFC, or so it seems, other than like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers.
And Kyler Murray.
Oh, that's right. I did hear you make the point yesterday about Kirk Cousins. I did hear that point. I did. Well, it's just for me, listen, I just got to say.
Well, I think I think my point, the major point is, yes, I might be making a joke about it, but the fact that you could actually have that discussion tells you all you need to know about the NFC.
And even then, we're still forgetting another gigantic move that was made with Devontae Adams going to the Raiders.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Today is Tuesday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, and we're calling this John Clayton Tuesday. So we've dug ourselves into a big discussion here about NFL stuff. We will get to NCAA tournament. We will get to NBA. We will get to the Padres and Major League Baseball. We'll get to all of it coming up. But Devontae Adams going to the Raiders. Alex, I saw what you put up yesterday, which was a comparison between the 4 offensive skill sets of the teams in the AFC West. And if you put that up on the screen and keep all 3 of us up with this on the screen as well, I'm curious to hear what you guys think, because I did not hear this part of the show yesterday. And then I want to get to a whole bunch of other stuff here in this segment. But if you look at the AFC West and then just think about it, like I said, Deshaun Watson is going to get back on the field, not in Houston. He's going to get back on the field in Cleveland. By the way, Browner, there's a place where Baker Mayfield may end up. Houston.
Yikes.
Hey,
yikes.
Junk pile franchise, junk pile quarterback.
Davis Mills might be better than Baker Mayfield.
For that team. You know what? I think
for what they need,
the best thing that happened to them was Lovie Smith. Like, that team needs to be bad, and they need to have a respectable person at the head of the bad, so no one's looking at their front offices and their ownership.
By the way, Scott, one more question on the Browns. Are they expecting to be good this year? Because I don't think they're a good team.
Oh, whoa. Listen.
They got no receivers. Their tight ends are
Jarvis
Landry.
No
tight ends. Jarvis Landry's gone.
Jarvis Landry's gone.
Jarvis Landry's gone.
He is?
He coming back. Well, watch what I tell you. He coming back.
Well, they cut him. Okay. So why is he coming back?
Deshaun Magic.
Hey, maybe Browner's onto something here, Alex. Maybe he's onto it.
So you got him. You got Peoples-Jones. You got Njoku.
They have players, but they're not good.
Peoples-Jones is good. I like him.
And now you're going to add to that a top 5 quarterback. Because I said this on the show. I repeat this again. Deshaun Watson is better, in my opinion, than all but maybe 2 quarterbacks.
Who's that?
Maybe 2.
Who?
Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. He
About
better
Tom
than everybody
Brady?
else.
Better than Tom Brady?
Yes, at this point in his career, yes.
No, well, Tom Brady just passed for 5,300 yards. How many yards did Deshaun Watson pass for last year?
Well, 0. He was passing court cases.
Well,
yeah, listen, I just think they're not going to be a very good team next year. I'm not saying that they're not going to be good with Deshaun Watson eventually, obviously, that he changes a lot of things. He covers up a lot of things. I just don't think this year they're going to be competing in that division.
Well,
the Ravens are better. I think the Bengals are better.
Okay. Well, listen, the Bengals just went to the Super Bowl. The Ravens are they seem to be there every single year. And Pittsburgh's obviously going to have to rebuild. But since we're talking about this on John Clayton Tuesday, when we look at the AFC West, because you mentioned Davante Adams. By the way, I saw a television commercial for Courtyard by Marriott where Davante Adams is in his Green Bay Packer uniform. They better hurry up and I don't know, do some photoshopping.
Special effects on that. They call it Pixar.
But look at the AFC West, and I know you guys put this up yesterday. I wanted to jump into this conversation. Let me ask you guys, because I don't know your answer. When you look at the AFC West depth chart, quarterback, running back, wide receivers, and tight ends, you have up on the screen right now, Alex, the Chargers, the Broncos, the Chiefs, and the Raiders.
Let me tell you mine before Browner blows your mind, okay? Because the obvious answer here is the Chiefs.
Don't tell me yours, Browner. Don't tell me yours.
The Chiefs have the best quarterback in maybe all of football. They have a first-round pick when healthy, very versatile, very good running back in Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Top 3 receiver in the NFL in Tyreek Hill. Probably the best number 2 receiver now in the NFL, and Juju Smith-Schuster, maybe, and the best tight end in the NFL. I think it's the Chiefs. That's not even close.
Okay, I'm going to tell you who I think. Now, just remember, I want to tell you guys. I'm not saying this is the best team. I'm telling you that when you
best offensive depth chart.
No, best offensive skill depth chart. That's an important distinction. Okay, I'm going to tell you when I saw this up on the screen. I see the Chargers quarterback, running back, receivers, tight end. I see the Broncos quarterback, running back, receivers, tight end. Same with the Chiefs and the Raiders. On the screen right now, when I see the names, I actually think the Raiders have the best group.
Oh, yeah.
Now, look, let me say this. The Raiders don't have the best quarterback on the board. We could argue about running back. They have maybe their running back is 2, 3, not number 1, I don't think. But the number 1 receiver, I think, on the board is Davante Adams. And I think Hunter Renfrow is as good as number 2. I guess you might make a I've not heard Browner say anything. So if Browner and I agree on this, that's probably not a good thing for me. Best tight end on the group is Kelsey. I don't know. When I looked at this, I went, man, oh man. The addition of Davante Adams has the Raiders skill guys looking better than everybody else's. I don't know. Is that what you said, Browner?
I said it very simply. They've got of this setup. They've got the best running back. They've got the best wide receiver, and Travis Kelce and Darren Waller pretty much cancel each other out.
I think Kelsey's better. Kelsey's better.
Oh, they don't.
When you put now, and this is also going to play well into it because Juju Smith-Schuster being added to Kansas City makes them a close second. But Davante Adams is light years better than Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is very fast, and the fact that Patrick Mahomes has a cannon for an arm and pinpoint precision makes Tyreek Hill look better. Davante Adams is going to make Derek Carr go up levels.
Yeah,
Darren Waller,
that's kind of what I
right. So Scott, I don't know if you caught this part.
You can't bracket Darren Waller anymore. Hunter Renfrow can get open in anywhere. I'm telling you, man, the Raiders have the best offensive weapons in the NFL. Derek Carr will look so much better with these dudes now. Stop it.
He might be.
I would like to point out that you're talking about Derek Carr, who you have been calling David for the past 3 years.
I did it again.
You're talking about you actually did it right today. But I'm saying, like, you don't even he's
sprint.
so good that you didn't even bother learning his name.
Well,
you're talking about Hunter Renfrow, who is just a possession receiver. That's it. You're talking about, can I just reemphasize? You're talking about Derek Carr.
I guess for me, it was
about Derek Carr.
Man,
about Derek Carr. So if you're saying Davante Adams is so good that he's going to put Derek Carr on another level, Patrick Mahomes is so much better than Derek Carr. I don't know what level you think he's getting to. And I love this, Scott, because we will finally figure out.
Oh, yeah.
If Davante Adams is a system wide receiver.
Yeah. Yeah, I know on paper, but I'll tell you what, though. I mean, I don't know why my first reaction was Raiders look like they've got the best overall group, but I'll
I
tell you
don't
what,
I don't
man.
get it.
I'll tell you what, when you look at that, when you look at the four teams in the AFC West and you see their quarterback, running back, wide receivers, and tight end, I mean, every team is just completely loaded, including the Chargers, by the way. Completely loaded.
Also, let me reference Browner's favorite website, Pro Football Focus.
Mhm.
The final offensive line rankings last season had the Las Vegas Raiders as the 28th best
Well,
offensive
this is
line
why I
and the
said
Kansas City Chiefs numero 3.
This is why I said this is about the skill players. This is not about
Right.
best teams overall. So, all right, listen, hold on one second because today is John Clayton Tuesday here on Kaplan and Crew. We're celebrating the life of John Clayton, and that turned into a lot of football talk today, even though we got a lot of NBA talk, a lot of NCAA basketball talk, and probably more importantly, we got a lot of Padre talk we want to get to. We'll get there in a matter of moments. Before we do, shout out to our people from Mazda of Escondido, mazdaofescondido.com. If you are looking for a brand new Mazda product, this is San Diego County's premier Mazda dealership. When you come there, you're going to be like, whoa, this place is beautiful. Yeah, because during COVID, they were rebuilding their entire showroom. They've got an entire lineup of brand new Mazda products, which I know for a while it's been hard to get new cars. My son has that CX-5. Everybody seems to love that vehicle. I know I do. This is great. They've got an app on their phone, the kids, and they can open the car, close the car. Listen, maybe that's something that you guys all know. For me, that's like brand new technology. So you have all the latest in technology. You have safety and reliability. You have affordability. There's a lot of reasons to love Mazda products. I'd never owned a Mazda before. Now I got three of them because I had two cars with three drivers and I needed to turn those two cars into three cars. I went and I saw Alan out at Mazda of Escondido. He's the general manager. And I said, Alan, I got this old 2014 GMC Terrain. I've got this older Cadillac SUV. I need to take both of these cars and turn it into three brand new Mazdas. That night, we left with two leases and one purchase. And I'm telling you right now, if you're interested in Mazda products or you want to trade in your car and you're looking for something new, Browner, what's the name of that electric version of the Mazda vehicle?
MX-30.
Yeah, that's the one I'm going to be looking at next. I'm going to give that some serious consideration. Mazda of Escondido, mazdaofescondido.com. All right. I want to just do something before we get back to sports stuff. Can I show you guys this crazy ass video that I shot this weekend when I was down in Loreto, Mexico? And the reason I want to do it now is because even though those of you that are listening on radio won't see it, for those of you that are watching on TV, you have to see this on television. You have to see this on TV to understand how amazing this was. So as much as I was like down and out about the John Clayton passing on Friday, on Saturday when I saw this, it like lifted my spirits like this is life. You know, like yesterday a friend died, and today I'm seeing something that I'll probably only see once in my lifetime, and I never thought I'd see ever in my life. I know a lot of you guys may have seen this already on social media, but I only posted it yesterday. Alex, can you put this up on the screen? Because I got to show this to you guys. I don't know if you can make it bigger or not. Really have no idea. Dude, look at
I
this.
cannot.
Look at this. This is orcas jumping out of the water in Loreto, Mexico. And you can go to my Instagram at Scott Kaplan. You can go onto my Facebook and you can enlarge it yourself. Dude, we hit a pod of orcas. I say, hit. I don't mean like we ran them over. Dude, these things were swimming underneath the boat and they're literally jumping out of the water. Killer whales, big monster, like 5,000-pound killer whales putting on a show like SeaWorld in real life. Listen, guys, I know I posted a picture the other day. Me and my girlfriend, I never post pictures without my shirt on because I'm really insecure about how, my man boobs and stuff. But the guy on the boat actually caught a picture of me and Rachel standing there with an orca jumping out of the water. And people were like, dude, that's Photoshopped. I'm like, I know it looks Photoshopped. But dude, when I post the video, it's going to blow your mind. Yeah.
I gotta tell you, there's a little bit of fight video quality on there. I feel like you were missing the orcas, like just by a split second.
What do you mean?
Like you got the first one,
Yep.
and you kept moving your phone around. I felt like you were just missing.
Okay,
them.
do me a favor. You ready? Do me this favor.
Yeah.
Go on to the video again, because for everybody that's watching on TV, go about a minute 10. Can you fast forward or can you not?
No.
Oh, good God, that sucks. The first one I got, I can't believe I got the one
nailed
jumping
it.
out of the water.
Nailed it.
But Alex, you have no idea. At the end of the video, we won't have enough
Yeah.
time to see it here on TV right now. In the last, I don't know, 20 or 30, about a minute into this. It's a 2-minute video. You got to see the one that comes right up on me, dude. Right up on me.
Okay.
You haven't seen that one?
I haven't made it that far.
You got to watch the whole 2 minutes. If I could figure out how to edit video and make things shorter, I would, but I don't. So whatever. Check me out. Check me out on Instagram at Scott Kaplan. Check me out on Facebook and see this video. I know what you think, Alex. I know you think I missed him, but I'm telling you right now, if you fast forward, you're going to see the most incredible videos. You can't even believe it. I'm telling you, John Clayton died on Friday, and on Saturday, something that is only going to happen once in my lifetime, and I never thought it would ever happen, happened. I wasn't even looking for it. It just happened. So check it out. All right, we are in the 7 Mile Casino studios, 7milecasino.com. Stick around. I want to talk about the Padres and their acquisition from the Yankees. Coming right back. Stick around, everybody.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
.1090 just got bigger and better. Please join us in welcoming SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate, the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. NFL, MLB, NBA, live game, the best sports talk programming with the largest signal in all of California. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Rugby. It's America's fastest growing sport and the predecessor of American football, combining football's physicality, the free-flowing grace of soccer, the ball-handling skills of basketball, and the intensity of ice hockey. No pads, no helmets, all action. Rugby Wrap-Up and Major League Rugby every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on Your View.
The 2022 San Diego Loyal season is here. Live on Your View and YourView.com. Watch the San Diego Loyal take on the Phoenix Rising FC Saturday, March 26th at 7:30 p.m. Support the San Diego Loyal as they make their bid for the 2022 USL Championship. Phoenix Rising FC versus the San Diego Loyal, Saturday at 7:30 on Your View.
Replacing missing teeth with the new small diameter or mini implants. With us, we have an expert on the topic, Dr. Joe Gillespie. Dr. Gillespie.
Hey, Randy.
Welcome to the program.
Great to see you again.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
The San Diego Loyal got the 2-0 win against Sacramento Republic FC last Saturday. Kai Adams got the scoring started in the 35th minute when he headed in a ball off a volley from Nick Moon. It was Adams' first start with San Diego in a sort of homecoming as Adams played college ball at San Diego State. The second goal of the night for the Loyal came from team captain Charlie Adams, who found the net from 20 yards out. In the second half, the Loyal had some chances, but Sacramento was able to keep them from furthering the damage. Koki Vegas had a clean sheet on the night. He had a standout save in the 38th minute to help secure the shutout. The Loyal are now 2-0 on the year and have 6 points. It is the first time the club has gotten off to a 2-0 start. Next up, the Loyal will hit the road to take on FC Tulsa on Wednesday. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Your View.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
The 2022 San Diego Loyal season is here. Live on Your View and YourView.com. Watch the San Diego Loyal take on the Phoenix Rising FC Saturday, March 26th at 7:30 p.m. Support the San Diego Loyal as they make their bid for the 2022 USL Championship. Phoenix Rising FC versus the San Diego Loyal, Saturday at 7:30 on YourView.
Main streets are the heart of our communities, where we connect with our neighbors, support local businesses, and share new adventures. Main Street Living celebrates all of this, bringing you uplifting stories with guests from across the country and your community. Main Street Living covers what's important to you today, from our street to your street. Join Cheryl, Danielle, and Quincy for Main Street Living, Mondays at 9 on YourView.
Rugby. It's America's fastest growing sport and the predecessor of American football, combining football's physicality, the free-flowing grace of soccer, the ball-handling skills of basketball, and the intensity of ice hockey. No pads, no helmets, all action. Rugby Wrap-Up and Major League Rugby every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on YourView.
Hollander Dental is unique because we have been serving the Carlsbad community for over 25 years. We have a very spacious office with ample parking and state-of-the-art technology. The office has been newly renovated, so all the equipment and facility is brand new. Any patient visiting Hollander Dental can expect to be taken care of at every step of their visit.
With care and love and support. So when we're going through tough times, as dental work is and can be, they make it easy for us as patients.
Investing in your smile and your overall dental health in the long run will help you save money by preventing other medical conditions.
I would absolutely recommend Hollander Dental.
I do recommend Hollander Dental to anyone I know who needs something done.
You always want to live in the best home possible. And that's what really at the heart of what our business is all about. And for over 20 years now, we've been focused on helping people get to the right property. At Move Up San Diego, we have created systems that are duplicatable because that creates the same results. Whether it's a trade-in option that we're doing a lot of right now, which allows people to be a cash buyer before they actually sell their home, or our moving concierge program, which actually helps you not just with the buying and selling of a property, but we help with the entire move. The best way to get a hold of Move Up San Diego is to either visit our website, moveupsandiego.com, or you can download our app called Move Up Homes, or you can call me direct on my cell phone at 858-204-7259.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and YourView, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Victor Howell here, host for the NCAA Tournament Special Dance to the Dome. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local teams all the way to the Final Four at the Dome. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and more as we dance to the Dome on YourView.
Brought to you by Eric Church Live at Pechanga Arena, San Diego on Friday, May 6th, 2022. Tickets at access.com. The 2022 San Diego Loyal season is here. Live on YourView and YourView.com. Watch the San Diego Loyal take on the Phoenix Rising FC Saturday, March 26th at 7:30 p.m. Support the San Diego Loyal as they make their bid for the 2022 USL Championship. Phoenix Rising FC versus the San Diego Loyal Saturday at 7:30 on YourView. If you love animals, Animal Zone is for you. From rescues to animal experts, Animal Zone is fun for the whole family. Watch Animal Zone right here on YourView, Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. and visit animalzone.org to learn more about the show.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
When you look at those around you, who do you see? Do you see a friend, a family